So it's a quick tour around the allotment late in the evening. The kids are in the background, just trying to get them to put their toys back into the car because we're going home. So this is, as we walk in, this is our flowering bee, herb, edible flowers bed. There's a couple of things still in pots still to go in. I keep nasturtiums, parsley, lavender, rosemary, thyme, coriander, dill, some Welsh onions, some chamomile. There's a big apple tree in the centre, and over at the back there's some sunflowers. So then as I walk in, over here is our big brown shed, and to the left here is our fruit cage. You can see my shadow as I walk past. Sun is going down. It's one of the warmest evenings in June we've had so far. So in the fruit cage here we have black currants, gooseberries, red currants, and a very small blueberry bush that's finally coming into its own 3 years on. And the next one is onions. These are overwinter onions. We planted these back in October, so down the bottom you might just be able to see they're beginning to bulb. So any seed heads that come up, we pop them off because we want the energy to go down into the bulbs. They'll be ready to pick in about 4 to 8 weeks time, depending on what way the weather is, and then we'll dry them and we'll string them. Next up is cauliflower. You can also see some crimson flowering beans inside, and just poking out, you probably can't see it, but there is some chamomile in there because chamomile will enhance the flavour of the cauliflower. Next bed is, and that's my husband in the background locking up the polytunnel. Next bed is garlic. We've got 3 different types of garlic in here, some elephant garlic, some it'll be red garlic, and some regular garlic. And again, this was overwintered. And again, it'll probably be about 4 to 8 weeks before we harvest it. And then down the bottom, some more crimson flowering beans. Next bed, we've got some sweet corn, and some of it died off because it wasn't quite hardened off enough. What were you saying? Frost, yes, that's right. What happened was, frost got to it. Actually, what happened was we had hardened it off over the space of 2 weeks, and we planted it in. We're delighted with ourselves, planted it in a lovely sunny day, and within 5 minutes of planting it we got a really heavy hail shower, so an awful lot of it died off. But we have some that are just about holding on, so in about 2 months time hopefully they'll be like 5 or 6 times the height and thriving an awful lot more. We've had quite cold weather here in North County Dublin over the last couple of months, which is unusual. Well, between May and June it's been unseasonably cold, so we're talking maybe between 2 and 5 degrees colder than it normally is this time of the year. These are our early potatoes, and again there's a small amount of frost damage. We actually thought the first really bad frost we got after we had put them in, we actually thought we were going to lose them, but they've perked back up. We're probably going to lose maybe 1 plant, but they're doing really well. Next up over here we've got some Romanesco cauliflower. So that's that pyramid shaped, really odd looking cauliflower. And then down the front we've got 2 kale sprout seedlings. They're also known as kalettes over in the US. So they'll be ready come Christmas, which I'm really looking forward to. Over here is work in progress, so we're working on our composting system at the moment, and behind that yellow bucket is our wormery. So we're working on building our wormery and harvesting worm cast, which is a fantastic fertiliser. Next, over here, you can't see them at the moment, but in the front, well, you might be able to see them, are some kohlrabi, some purple kohlrabi, and in the back we've got a combination of beans, flowering beans, climbing beans, and some peas. That's our 4th sowing of peas. The slugs really seem to like that location, which is disappointing, but I'm really proud of my teepee, which is kind of cute. We top an awful lot of things. You've probably noticed the CDs and some wind chimes around, and that's to deter the birds from coming down and having a snack because they really like seedlings. In here's the polytunnel. It's all locked up, so I'm not going to do a tour of it today, but I will do one soon. And here we have more Brussels sprouts and lettuce. We've undersown the Brussels sprouts with lettuce. They won't be ready until late autumn, early winter, and you can't really see at the moment, but I do have some purple kale, some cavallonero, and that'll come back towards the winter. I've just got some seedlings there at the moment. These are our spring onions. Now they're not scallions or spring onions, they're onions that we planted at the beginning of spring, so they're not as big as our overwinter, but they are beginning to bulb. Here we've got kind of salad lettuce, so at the back we've got cut and come again kind of bok choy, and then we've got some red lettuce and some lala rosso. And the reason why we grow so many things that have dark colours is because they have more antioxidants, so they're much better for us. Over here we have broccoli, which was originally undersown with lettuce, but it's doing so well that the lettuce is, well, you can't really see it at the moment, so I'm just going to lift the net just a little bit and take you down. And can you see in there? That's the baby broccoli. So that'll be ready soon. Here we have some dwarf peas, some beetroot, and some more lala rosso, and down the end we have a dwarf sunflower. Over here we have some climbing peas. This is their third sowing of peas and they're doing fantastically. Beside them we've got some more dwarf beans. And over here this is our last raised bed outdoors. You can see our weeding bucket and our kneeler. And here we have some leeks alternated with carrots, and then down the back we have the playhouse, the summer house for the kids, and back to the flower bed. And that's the end of the tour of my allotment, and next one in a couple of days will be the tour of the polytunnel. Have a great day.